What's up guys, this is Lime from Variety Gaming 101 and today I have a very special video for you. So today I thought I'd bring you a deck profile. I thought I'd start doing this just because it's something to do and it's a good idea for video. But let's get started, shall we? But first I wanted to say I don't have a ton of expensive cards, so I don't have a lot to choose from. And I'm more of a casual Yu-Gi-Oh player. I only go to locals, I don't go to big tournaments, and I play against friends mostly, so yeah, so let's get started, shall we? This is what I call Requiem Resurrection. It is a zombie deck, if you couldn't figure that already. And so without further ado, here it is. It doesn't focus big on extra deck, and it's mostly the deck itself, like the main deck. And yeah, it's got 40 cards, so let's get started. First off, I play 2 Pyramid Turtles. If you can see that there. I only use 2 because I only have 2, and also I only figure that I need 2, so that's all I really need. Next up, 3 Mizukis. Pretty self-explanatory. You banish him from the graveyard in order to special summon, and then you can just recycle over and over. The reason I call it Requiem Resurrection is because you just kind of keep recycling your zombies. 1 Goblin Zombie, that's all I have, but I find that with 1 it's pretty useful. With the 2 Pyramid Turtles and the Mizukis, it works pretty well, so. 1 Zombie Master. Not a huge fan of Zombie Master. Only play 1. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Only play one Zombie Master because it's all I really need. 1 Des Lakuta. I find most people don't use this card anymore, but I do like it because with the traps I use, it's great for drawing into more cards. So next up is another one that most people don't use, Skelosaurus. I do love this card. If you can prevent it from being destroyed when it's like summoned the second time, if you don't know what this card does, you can it's a Gemini. You can special summon whatever monster you kill or destroy onto your side of the field in defense. So I use a lot of vampires in here, so I need to get the Zombie World, the field spell card, but I don't have that yet. So Vampire's Curse. If you don't know what this does, I won't explain it, but just look it up. But Vampire's Curse is good. Vampire Lady. I need some low levels zombies, and I don't have a lot to choose from, like I said. So I do use Vampire. Sorry, I'll let the player there. I'll try to cover it. I do use Vampire Lady because I love the fact that you can get rid of one of their spells or whatever. Useful. Vampire Lord. 1 Vampire Lord. Sorry about the light. I'll try to cover it. 1 Vampire Lord. 1 Shadow Vampire. Goes great with Vampire Lord and Vampire Lady because you can special summon. 1 Plague Spreader. Once again, I only have 1, so I use 1, and it's pretty much all I need. Like I said, it's not a huge focus on the extra deck, but when I do get out there, it is nice. Endless Decay. If you don't know what this does, it's half your opponent's life points. Its attack becomes when you summon it, and it's a great boss monster at the start. So, Ill Blood. There we go. Ill Blood. Ill Blood is very good if you can get him out there. Spirit Reaper, 1 Spirit Reaper. And lastly, 1 Battle Fader. Battle Fader doesn't fit with zombies because I try to use just zombies, but Battle Fader is really useful, and yeah, so I keep 1 in there anyway. Next up, I will do the spells. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I miscounted, I think it's like 18 I think it's 19 monsters, but yeah, last time I checked. Next up, I'll do the spells. 2 Books of Life. Very, very useful. Some people use 3, some only use 1. Some don't use any at all that I've seen. I really do like Book of Life because the fact you can banish your opponent's monster and also special summon, it's really useful in my opinion for zombies. Yeah, of course. Next up, 2 Call of the Mummy. I use 2 because, well, I don't use 3 because I think that's way too many. But, well, 1 too many, but 2 is useful because often enough when I'm playing 1 gets destroyed or whatever, 2 comes in handy for me, so. And it's a good way to special summon all those high level monsters since I'm playing mostly high levels, so. Next up for spells is the ones only 1 each of. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, self-explanatory. 1 Pot of Duality, just to pick which cards you need quicker. Soul Charge. I've seen people use 3 Soul Charges, but I really don't see the point unless, because you only really need to use 1 most of the time in my opinion, just because you're going to waste all your life points otherwise if you don't have anything that's gaining them, and I don't in here, so. 1 Soul Charge. Dark World Dealings. Draw 1 card. Each player draws 1 card, then discards 1 card. I love this because when your opponent's out of cards, if they are, you play this and then they just get to, they just draw 1 card and then discard it. But the reason I also like this is because you can discard a zombie like Mizuki that needs to go to the graveyard. So So yeah, I don't have Elemental Hero Malicious, or Evil Hero Malicious, or no, Destiny Hero Malicious, I'm sorry. I don't have him, and I don't use him in here, so. Next up is a Dark Hole, self-explanatory. I should get Raigeki or Rigeki, but very expensive. A Poly, I'll show you why after. I use one fusion monster. You can probably guess what it is if you're experienced. A Shard of Greed, useful for drawing into those cards once again, if you can keep it on the field. Shard of Greed, if you don't know what this does, it's a revenue card. Every time you draw a card in your draw phase, you can add a greed counter, yeah. And then when it has 2, you can draw 2 cards. It's like Pot of Greed that just takes a little bit of time, but it's not banned, so. Foolish Burial, just to get those, 1 Foolish Burial, because I only think you can have 1, but yeah. Just to get those monsters to the graveyard that you need, like Mizuki or, yeah, pretty much Mizuki, or was there any others? Well, or any monster that you have that you want to special summon with one of the other special summoning things, like Call of the Haunted, which I have, which I'll show you. Sorry, I'm completely losing my train of thought here. Book of Life, or Soul Charge, or whatever. And lastly, Gold Sarcophagus. I like Gold Sarcophagus just because if you need a spell or a trap, which often enough you do, you get it quick, so yeah. Now for the traps, I only have 1 of each trap, so, and not a lot. Scrap Iron Scarecrow. This pretty much goes good in any deck in my opinion because it negates 1 attack. Sorry about that, I'll focus the camera. It negates 1 attack and then you put it back face down. So that's really useful in my opinion because it's good for stopping them from destroying you. Next up is 1 Call of the Haunted. I originally had 2, but I had too many cards. I wanted to make it 40, so I took one out. You only really need 1, so. Magic Cylinder, it's self-explanatory. Very useful for, I love finishing off the opponent with this if like they're not wary or whatever, that's fun. Black Horn of Heaven to prevent their special summons, only need 1. Mirror Force, self-explanatory. A Dark Bribe to fix if they're negating your plays or anything you're doing. Swamp Mirror, this one's a bit iffy, but I do use this because you can make it a zombie and you can make it a dark. And it's nice when you need to tribute right off the bat or whatever. I like Swamp Mirror, I like that one a lot. Better than the other trap monsters just because you can choose what type it is, so yeah. This is another iffy one. Time Machine. If you don't know what this does, when a monster is destroyed by battle, it returns to the field. The reason I like this though is, don't quote me on this, but I'm 99% sure that when it just Pyramid's Turtle is destroyed, his effect will still take place, and then you Time Machine him. Then he comes back, and then you can use his effect again. So yeah. And the last trap is Compulsory Evacuation Device. I use Compulsory just because if someone whips out Beals or some crazy Synchro XEs, then it's easy to get rid of, so. I should probably use 2, but whatever. I want to take 1 out because I want to have 40. So basically, here's the extra deck. There's 3 main ones I use because like they're part of the zombie theme. And there's only 1 card that's not zombie, and that's Battle Fader. The extras are just there because you always want to keep your options open, obviously. First is Pilgrim Reaper. Not a card you see often, but it's 2 level 6 zombie monsters, or 2 level 6 monsters, or other, and it's a zombie. Comes in handy. And like I said, I want to keep zombie theme. I had Crimson Knight Vampire Brown, but I sold him. I really shouldn't have because this would have went great with this deck. Whatever. Number 48, Shadow Lich. 2 level 3 monsters. I don't even know if I can. I wasn't paying attention if I have 2 level 3s. I think I do, but I should. I need to. Like I said, this deck needs tweaking. I just made it, and I need to tweak it. And if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to comment. And then for the Poly, I have Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon. I really do like this card. Really fun for me. I'll focus that camera. Sorry, it's really bad right now. There we go. I like that card a lot just because if you don't know what it does, it makes it can't kill monsters, but anytime you attack, it'll make their attack 0, and then you can special summon a token with the same amount of attack in your southern field. So that's useful. Then for the extra deck, that is just for extras. You can put whatever you want in there, but Stardust because of Stardust, Crimson Blader, Yugioh because level 6, Red Dragon Archfiend, and Dark End Dragon. I don't have a lot of the zombie synchros that I need, which I should probably get, but I just like to keep my options open, so just put whatever in there because, you know, more options is always better. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and that always helps me. And if you want to see more content, please subscribe. I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching. Peace.